don't believe in the existence of addiction. Could you please enlighten us a little bit more on that, please?
Well, we can spend all evening. Here's a simple thing. I can ask anyone, if anybody can give me an objective, testable, repeatable way of detecting the presence of addiction in the human body, please raise your hand.
Oh, please.
What is it?
What about withdrawal symptoms?
Sorry?
What about withdrawal symptoms?
What about withdrawal symptoms? It's hangover. It's not. That doesn't. That you get a hangover doesn't mean you immediately have to rush to the shop and buy yourself another bottle of whatever it is you drink. It's a hangover. What is it? It doesn't mean it.
So what qualifies medically to say that?
Well, I don't need to be qualified medically, so I just need to be qualified logically and to be awake. It's not medical qualifications are not necessary to do it. Though I could introduce you to my friend Dr. Theodore Dalrymple, that's the name he writes under, who was for many years a prison doctor, mostly in the Winston Green prison in Birmingham, and his opinion of withdrawal symptoms is they're roughly equivalent to a bad dose of flu. And there's certainly not some sort of overpowering thing which makes you. I mean, his opinions on how long it takes people to become addicted, allegedly, to the drugs to which they are allegedly addicted, and the persistence and determination which it takes to become addicted to them is also quite interesting. I recommend his work on the subject to you. But I don't think I need a medical qualification to say that. It's not necessary. What you have to do is to say to me, what is the objective physical testable evidence for the presence of addiction in the human body? Anyone? You can't. I promise you, you can get on the internet if you like. There isn't any. There isn't any because there is no such thing. Addiction is a concept. It has no existence. I don't have to prove it doesn't exist. You're the ones who have to prove that it does. The reason why it's so popular is this is a pseudo-civilization of excuse-making. And what we all do is we excuse ourselves for things. We get fat, not because we're greedy, but because we have a gene that makes us fat. We drink because we're alcoholics, whatever that means. We do all kinds of things because some force, some indefinable, invisible force makes us do it. There is no such force. People take drugs because they want to. And they stop taking drugs when they don't want to. And you don't need to take my word for this. My friend and opponent, Johann Hari, in his interesting book, Chasing the Screen, goes through the subject of addiction and establishes that, for instance, hundreds of thousands of American soldiers went to Vietnam and there became regular heroin users. Who can blame them under the circumstances, you might say, but they did. And there was a great deal of panic about this, so it's about what would happen when they went back. And what happened when they went back? They all stopped using heroin, with a very, very small number of exceptions. And whether or not they had rehabilitation or any other intervention made no difference to the outcome. They simply stopped because they didn't want to take it anymore. And that is the reason why most people stop taking drugs, and it's the reason why everybody I know in my trade, I know quite a few, who stops drinking, they decide to stop drinking because they want to. And if they don't want to stop drinking, there's nothing anybody can do for them. But it's not anything other than their own will which decides. It's very unfashionable. That's why the whole concept is so shocking. It's very unfashionable to speak to people as if they had control over themselves and free will to decide what to do, but it is the case. And to claim that you don't have it, and that in some way this drug, which so many people manage to stop taking by their own willpower, is so powerful that you can't stop taking it, and therefore your criminal act must be treated as a disease for which we should sympathise, is just straightforward, factual, logical, frivolous, and it won't stand up. And if you want to argue this with me, all you need to do is start from the point, you believe in this thing, you show me how and where it can be shown objectively to exist. You can't.